Hi, first grade writers. So, today is an exciting day. I mean, every day is exciting in first grade, you're right. But today is extra exciting because we are starting a new kind of writing. This kind of writing is going to be super fun, and I know because some of you told me back when we were in the school building that you could not wait to write this kind of writing. I'm going to show you an example of this kind of writing to start. See if you can guess what kind of writing we're going to be starting. I have a whole book of examples of this kind of writing from first graders, just like you. I'm going to show you one. This one is called skating. I curve, I jump, I twirl. I can do anything. I am leaping through the sky. A camel, a sit spin, a toe loop, a half flip. I do a split. I have the whole world at my feet. What kind of writing is this? Can you guess? If you guessed poetry, you are right. First graders, we are going to start writing poetry, and it is going to be tons of fun. For today, I want you to start thinking about poetry, and I'm going to give you just the basics of poetry. Just the most important things that you need to know about poetry so that you can get started writing. I am not going to have you write any poetry today. But of course, if you feel really inspired to get started, you can go ahead and start writing. But first graders, just like when we started realistic fiction, I need you to keep all of your poems that you write at home. So find another folder or a special spot where you are going to keep all the poems that you write. No first grade writing should ever go in the recycling because it is your hard work. So keep all your poems that you write throughout this unit, and I can't wait. So here are the basics of poetry. Everything you need to know just to start wrapping your mind around poetry. I have them laid out here. So poems, and this is going to be a list of things that poems. Poems can be about anything. They can be about places, things, activities, stuff you do. They can be about your house, your dog, your brother, your sister, trees, the grass, Memorial Day weekend, whatever you want to write a poem about, it can be about anything. Next week, we're going to brainstorm together some good ideas for poems. So don't worry, we'll get there. So poems can be about anything. They can use few words. Poems do not have to be long. They don't have to have long, complete sentences. They can use a few words. I'm going to show you some more examples with just a few words. Poems let us know the poet. A poet is a person who writes poetry, which means we are all now poets. Poems are about something that is important to you or that is about you. So when we read your poetry and your poems, we get to know you better. Not just as a poet, but like as a person. I could write a poem about Miles the dog. And when I write a poem about Miles the dog, you will know more about Miles and about me. So, poems can be about anything. They can use few words. They let us know the poet. They are easy to create. First graders, once we get into poetry, you will realize that it is easy. Poetry is easy. It's super easy to come up with, and it's super easy to write poetry. Poems can be funny or serious. Some people choose to write poems about things that are funny, like maybe their little brother, maybe their dog, maybe their cat, maybe their pet bird. Some people might use writing and poetry to help them think about their feelings, which sometimes can be serious. And poems are tons of fun. So, first graders, I'm going to read you one more example of poetry today, but I just want you to look at and think about what you might want to write poetry about, or if you've read poetry before, or if you are really excited about poetry, or if you're a little nervous about poetry. All of those things are okay, because all of next week, we are going to have lessons every single day about poetry. So I'm going to leave you with another poem today. Again, this poem is written by a first grader. And it is going to be, let's do this one. This one is called Never Give Up. You have to see if you can figure out what the poem is about. I do 3 turns. I do snow plows. I do hockey stops. I do T-stops. Whew! I do crossovers. I do double loops. I do triple loops. I do backwards crossovers. Whew! Finally, I pass another level. Whew! So this first grader, when they published it, they added some pictures. And you can see by the pictures that this is also about skating. So that is all I have for you today about poetry. But next week, we are really going to dive in and we are going to write poems every single day. I can't wait.